Okay, we're gonna go through our exterior. Overall, paint is in pretty good shape. There are some scratches, just kind of all around the vehicle. That would need a little more than just a buff. Some of them you could get away with just a buff. Sorry for like the weird dust thing that's happening to me right now. You can literally see where I put my hands on everything. Some gouges along the back here, a few dings, some chips on that. This side's pretty good. You got like a little door dings here and there. Now I do want to make note on a couple things. So we see how nice and uniform and tight this gap here is. Not bad. Now pay attention to that sticking out, that bulge here. And then it's pretty tight here. This fender, I talk about it more on the engine one on the inside portion, but this fender has been replaced. You can see how big this gap is, and you can actually feel the height difference there. Easy way to tell as well, on fenders, you look in here, you can see where the bolt is not on the normal circle that it used to be, and some of the primer overspray stuff. Looking in here, the seal's popped out. This is a little bit loose. They're not like super stiff or anything, but like it's just not as uniform. On the bumper here, you can see the tape line. If you get in real close, let this focus. There it is, your tape line. Okay, I thought it was like a clear bra at first, but if you come down in here, you can see where the peeling part, if I peel that pulls the paint. So I don't know if the old bumper they got was clear bra and they just painted over it, because you cannot remove clear bra, but that's paint over it, because you see where it's worn here, there's still a lip here. It's very strange. So some scuffs here. I did talk about that light's not really secured, a little bit more on the engine bay portion. Pretty good scratches here, but overall that's kind of like the main concern that I found. You can kind of see like how sharp that paint difference is. I know it's dusty and kind of dirty, but you can still tell like the smoothness, a little bit of orange peel there, and just the way that lines up. We'll stop here. I'm gonna do a startup here, and then we're just gonna be kind of listening, and then I'll come back and describe everything. The camera's gonna be a little bit weird for a moment. It might be hard to hear on this camera, but there is like a little bit of a lower end sound just kind of resonating through, just kind of here at idle. Just little taps. The ticking sound, kind of like fluttering cards, that's your direct injection. That's normal. It's that lower. Okay, so that's what we were looking for. So engine bay, we're just kind of going through. Oil level was really good. Transmission, that is a service only fluid check. Battery they did replace. Your negative is down there. There's a plastic cap by your starter. It's a little hot for me to get in there, unfortunately. I tried to flick it out of there the best I could. It's just tucked away in there. Brake fluid looks good. It's a little under your max line, but the fluid looks good on condition. Normally over time those get really dark from moisture, so that's good to know they serviced. Belts, hoses all look really good. Now normally I get into some of the stuff for exterior, but we're here, so I'm going to touch base on it. So this light is not secured properly. They have like a little pressure thing, and then there's a screw in there. It's normally supposed to be a welded on nut, and then that bolt just goes through there. So we're looking at this one. That's how it should be. No secure here. So the grill is also attached to the light part here. My camera's struggling with all the lights sources. Down here there's a bracket. Might be hard to see here. This L bracket right there above my finger, you can kind of see the split and it's starting to rust. A little bit of repair here where you see the paint bubbling. This fender has been replaced. You can see it's a Tong Yang from Taiwan. They do aftermarket stuff for Toyota metal. You can see the factory fender does not have that. It's just a stamp in here. So you can see here where the seam stuff kind of dripped. That wouldn't be like that from the factory. And then up here, your little seal's out. You can kind of see the little bit of extra gap here. On the exterior portion of the video, it'll be better highlighted. But that's going to conclude our engine bay. We're going to keep moving through this inspection. Okay, so we're going to go through our undercarriage portion here. So I always start from the front, looking towards the back. This just kind of shows me if anything's been hanging down, sagging, dragging, any kind of rub marks, rough areas, or anything like that. Looks pretty good from this angle. We're going to hit each corner and just kind of talk about what we're seeing. We're on the driver front corner, so this is going to be your front lift point. Floor looks really good, subframe in good shape. You can see the cats and resonators are still present, that's always good. Plastics are all still good and present, that's good. It's going to be your fuel tank here as well. And then rear lift here. See a little bit of bending going on. Now that's not uncommon, but it does open up space for surface rust to form and then pockets form. So definitely something to keep an eye on that. And that is a good eye on the rear diff there. U-joints and everything look really good. We're gonna go straight from the back. Okay, we are at the very far back here. So rear end again. And then tailpipe. You see the body and everything still good. Seam sealer's all good. Looks nice. Axles in good shape. No torn boots or any kind of wetness there. Looks good. This is the passenger lift point here. So this one actually did raise a little bit of alarm for me. A little more bent over, a little more opening on those pinch welds, so there's a little more chance for surface rust to form in there. And then this drain hole, actually quite a bit of surface rust there. It's kind of flaky, but it's not soft. And front corner here, so same story, kind of folded over. You can see where the surface rust is forming. And while I'm here, you can see this mud flap. You got a little action. I'm assuming that's from whatever accident happened here, and that might have scraped on the ground or will scrape something. So we'll stop here. All right, we are on the interior portion of the video. So you got controls here, phone, audio controls, radio. This and this both control the radio stations. This arrows here will kind of mess with the info there with the display. And then your cruise control here all works as intended. Does have auto lights. You can turn the daytime running lights off. I see a lot of people do that, not sure why. And then just traction control here. This is how you disable the power doors. Little cubby here. We do have autoed all the windows on this switch, the right rear. It does not do the auto feature. I've got it to work on the door. I did the reprogramming procedure and it didn't make a difference. When we did our drive, we're at 89,870. Right now your lift gate's open, so you're looking at the sky, but the rear camera works and everything. This range is much wider than your vehicle. It's very interesting. I have a Subaru, but when you do it, it kind of like the lines on the outside are supposed to track your tires, so I guess that was just different for me. Auto climate controls, it does have rear functioning as well. When I hop in the back, I'll show you where they can control it. It does have a sport shift function. This is an 8-speed transmission, so that comes in handy sometimes. Down here, this cover is missing. Unless you're in like really moisture or dusty areas, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Overall dash is in pretty good shape. And then we did talk about this crack here. It does look as fresh as you were talking about. Normally you'll see like dirt embedded in there or something like that. Some scratches on the plastics you'll see kind of throughout here. Now we're gonna pause here and look from the outside in. So vans are always super fun with this because you can literally look in the whole side here. Driver's seat is the only one with power function. A little bit of wear, you'll see a little creasing. Wear on there, a little bit of creasing. There's no floor mats in the vehicle. It does have this plastic here, but no floor mats. Back seats aren't too bad. These are a little pushed down, a little worn. They don't really sit up there no more. There is spots like this throughout the vehicle. You'll see more in the very back. Looks like some kind of bleach substance spilled at some point. And that's most likely where the old carpets went, because you can see the edges of the carpets there. Back seat, same story, just some slight stains on these. Plastics and everything are in good shape. There are some good scratches and everything on there. And then this does have vents up in the headliner. They all work as intended. And then, this is where your back seat can control what's going on back here. Cup holders, seat backs are in good shape, nice and tight still. More of those stains. Hop off to the other side. Alright, so just the passenger side. Same thing, getting in. I originally thought that this was how you get to your spare. This doesn't have a spare. And you pull this out, you can see the ground. So it's just a body plug for moisture. Some of the vans, they used to have spares under the floor here where you could get them out, because the rear is for cargo when you fold your seats in. So this does not have a spare. Just want to reiterate that. Another thing on that side, if your fuel door has a popper down there, if your fuel door is open, it will disable that power door. I was just popping all the buttons, and then I realized the car's smarter than me when it came to that. And thank God. I didn't want to mess it up. So, just something to note. 2 glove boxes here. This does have some info inside. And then this is actually a lot deeper than I thought it would be. It's pretty cool. And manual seat on this side. Door card up here is really good shape. And like I was saying, this window does fully function audibly at this door, just not the master switch. We'll stop here. We're in the rear hatch, or trunk, or truck bed. This is a rear hatch. It was a van, so it's a big old hatch. These struts are in very good shape. You do need a little bit of effort, but it opens very nicely. So I don't know if I would worry about it, because I like how well it opens. Here's some of that bleach that I was talking about. Underneath, the floor is in good shape, like the actual floor. You'll see some like dirt and debris and stuff down embedded in there. These do fold up and kind of make a flat, as you see. Some more stains, more scuffs. This is a couple gouges that I was talking about on the rear portion. Glass, everything looks good. More gouges on the bumper. I'll probably talk about that in the exterior portion. And a little storage nook here. And then I like to tell people about this. This is your, here's your like little jack handle, which is supposed to lower down that centerpiece. So I'm not sure why that's here if it's not in the car. This little flap here at the top of that clip, that is how you change the filter for the rear climate. They don't tell you these things, but it's not too bad. You do gotta kind of finagle it, but it's not too bad. This is just free hanging. It's not mounted. I want to push it in to see if it'll clip in, but I don't want you to not know. Well, actually, it's not letting me. Yeah, so that's there. I don't know if it works. I don't have a way to put power to that. But it's not supposed to be like that. We'll stop here. All right, at this portion, this focus here. Blair's fighting me. There we go. We go through and we scan all of the monitors in the vehicle, and they all pass without any kind of issues. No stored codes, history codes. That's what we like to see. I always like to look here to make sure this VIN is actually what's on the vehicle, and they do match. From here, we're going to go through our monitors. All right, so going through this portion here, We got all green checks except for on the evap system. I did do quite an extended period of highway driving. Oh, hold on one second, this train's gonna be loud. Alright, as I get farther away it'll be less. So the evap system basically is monitoring your emissions vapor system, right? So the vapors that are produced from the fuel tank in through the system. That should have reset. I do see the battery was replaced at some point, but I mean, how many trips and idles did it have between, you know, getting it on the trailer, getting it off the trailer, and you guys had it for a few minutes. So I should have seen that reset. Sometimes that could take, you know, 20 miles of highway non-stop to get to reset. It's not something that's going to cause me to have any concerns based on the condition of the way the vehicle drove. Didn't sputter, didn't have any issues getting up to speed, so no power loss. It didn't smell like sulfur or fuel, raw fuel. So it's not like the system's out of place. It's just that monitor did not reset on the drive. All right, we're gonna go through our conclusions. Overall, I'm a big fan of the Siennas. This being an all-wheel drive model, it's perfect for our area. Has just enough amenities without being annoying, but it still has everything to make your life of ease. Love the power doors. Does have privacy on all the glass, except for the fronts, obviously. Okay, I'm not supposed to do that. We did talk about that front corner that you had some interest in. A couple of highlights for me. Front tires are brand new. Rears are not. They're the old ones. Too much of a difference can cause your PTU to work a little harder, especially on highway. Basically, newer tires making less rotations at the same speed than an old tire because the difference in tread is difference in height. It's marginal, but this computer is like, hey, this is how many rotations because of the magnets in the wheel. This is how many rotations at this speed, and this is how many rotations and it's trying to keep that even. So it could be locking and unlocking unnecessarily. Overall, paint's in decent shape. It does have some work on this side, like I was saying. We did highlight that quite a bit and go through it in depth. Some of the blemishes I do feel good paint correction, buff and cut could help with. The rear section did have like some bleach in there. I did not find a spare tire in here as well. The little port that I thought was how you get down to it, pop that out and you could just see the ground. So it could be something that wasn't equipped on this. Some of them, they do like the run flat kits. I didn't find that run flat kit. Power doors work as intended. So everything looks good here. As far as the drive, the vehicle is very quiet. Gets up to speed with ease. Cruises right along, no problem. No real extra noises. I did get like a little bit of a clunk. I went to a washboard dirt road and got a little bit of a clunk on an aggressive pass, but it wasn't persistent on like smaller washboards, just some of those deeper potholes. We're gonna stop here. Pretty good. I give this one a decent score. Like I said, I'm pretty biased to these. I do like these vehicles. This one seems to run out pretty good.